Number 6. Keelhauling. You're a sailor in the 1600s. You stole some food, or talked back to an officer, or just had a bad day at the wrong moment. The punishment? They tie a rope around your body, throw you off one side of the ship, and drag you under the hull, all the way across to the other side. Sounds almost survivable. It's not the drowning that gets you, it's the hull. Centuries of barnacles grow on the bottom of a wooden ship, and barnacles are essentially tiny, razor-edged rocks. You get dragged across them at the mercy of the current, face first, fully submerged, unable to breathe. The second you hit the cold water, something strange happens. For one brief moment, your whole body just goes still and quiet. Cold shock does that, and for half a second, underwater, rope around your chest, you almost look relieved, almost peaceful. Then the current pulls you into the hull, and the barnacles go to work. The calm is gone instantly. Your lungs are screaming for air you can't take, and your front is being shredded in real time. By the time they pull you up the other side, if they pull you up at all, you've swallowed half the ocean, and you don't remember most of what just happened to you. Your mind simply checked out partway through. Navies eventually phased this one out, not entirely out of mercy. A half-drowned, shredded sailor with infected wounds in the 1700s on a ship with no antibiotics just became one more body to deal with later. Cruelty turned out to be bad logistics. Number 5. The pear of anguish. This one is almost funny, in the worst way. Picture a metal device shaped roughly like a pear. You insert it into one of several openings on the body. Then, using a hand crank, the device slowly expands from the inside. Someone designed this. Someone sat down, sketched it, built a prototype, tested it, and then improved the design. There's a version with 4 expanding segments instead of 2. There's a version with spikes that emerge as it opens. Someone got a promotion for that. The first turn of the crank barely registers, just a strange, exploratory pressure. Wrong, but bearable. The second turn changes that completely. Internal tissue isn't built to stretch like that. Historical accounts describe victims going from confused to screaming in the span of 1 or 2 turns of the handle, the device doing exactly what its inventor intended, with horrifying mechanical precision. It was eventually phased out as more humane methods of execution and punishment emerged, which says something genuinely upsetting about what counted as an upgrade. Number 4. Rat torture. This is the one most people have heard whispered about and hoped wasn't real. It was. A live rat is placed in a container directly on the victim's bare stomach or chest. The container is open on the side touching the skin. Then heat is applied to the opposite end. Rats do not like heat. Given a choice between heat and literally anything else, a rat will choose anything else. The only direction away from the heat is through the only soft, warm, escapable feeling thing in the container. You. At first, you just feel the rat moving, scratching, agitated. Then the digging starts. Not biting out of aggression, digging, the way it would dig through soil, because as far as its nervous system is concerned, that's exactly what this is. Soft tissue gives way faster than anyone wants to think about. Victims subjected to this reportedly went through the same arc almost every time. Disbelief, frantic pleading, then a kind of horrified silence once the body simply couldn't process any more input. It's one of the few methods on this list explicitly designed to make the torturer's hands look clean. Nobody touched a blade. The rat did the work. Number 3. The brazen bull. Ancient Greece and Rome both used a version of this one. A massive, hollow bronze statue shaped like a bull. The victim is placed inside through a door in the side. The door is sealed. Then a fire is lit underneath, slowly heating the bronze from the outside in. Here's the strange part. At first, you might genuinely think you're going to be fine. The bull is roomy. It's quiet. there's an almost peaceful darkness inside. For one brief moment, alone in the dark, you actually relax. It's almost a relief just to be enclosed and still. Then the bronze starts to warm under your feet, and that relief disappears in an instant. It climbs slowly enough that you have time to fully understand what's happening before it becomes unbearable, which some historians argue was the entire point. Ancient accounts describe a piping system in the bull's nostrils, designed specifically so the screams from inside would be distorted into something that sounded like an animal's roar. Entertainment for whoever was standing outside listening. Number 2. Scaphism, the boats. This is the one in the old illustrations that look almost peaceful at first glance, and that's exactly the trick. The victim is placed inside 2 hollowed-out boat hulls, locked together with only the head, hands, and feet exposed. Then they are force-fed a steady diet of milk and honey. That part sounds genuinely almost gentle. For the first day, maybe 2, you might actually be the most well-fed and hydrated you've been in weeks. Then they float you out onto a still pond and leave you there. The same honey that fed you starts attracting insects directly to your exposed skin. The milk causes severe, uncontrollable diarrhea, which, trapped against your body in the heat, day after day, does something to flesh that historical accounts genuinely struggle to put into words. You are alive. You are fed. You are also, slowly, over the course of days, becoming something insects are actively consuming, while fully conscious, unable to move, watching it happen. Some historical sources describe victims surviving over 2 weeks this way. 2 weeks of comfort curdling, hour by hour, into something almost nobody who hears about it can finish picturing. Number 1. Death by 1,000 cuts. Used in China for centuries, officially banned in the early 1900s. The method is exactly what it sounds like, and that's what makes it the worst entry on this list. Not a single horrifying mechanism, but a methodical, almost bureaucratic process designed to last as long as humanly possible. A trained executioner makes a precise series of small cuts to the body, starting with areas that cause significant pain but minimal blood loss: fingers, ears, eyebrows, calves. The goal was never speed. A skilled executioner could draw the process out over hours, sometimes accounts suggest over a full day, keeping the victim conscious for as much of it as physically possible. Each cut brings sharp pain, then a strange numbness as the body's pain response gets overwhelmed and briefly goes quiet. Then the next cut arrives, and the cycle restarts, the brief relief making each new wave of pain feel like the first all over again. Executioners reportedly developed something close to actual surgical skill, prized specifically for their ability to keep a person alive and aware for the maximum number of cuts. It was eventually banned, not because the punishment changed, but because the rest of the world's tolerance for watching it did.